Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9 Volt Games, and today I want to talk about a lot of things, but I'm going to start with this one YouTube channel. I had a YouTube video um recommended to me about a Doom Eternal review from Upper Echelon Gaming. I'm not even going to put this man's link. You can go on your own if you want. I'm not going to put the link to the video, anything. But if you want to laugh your ass off, watch this man. He shit all over Doom Eternal because he wasn't good at it. Now, I'm not fantastic at it. Hey, every time I do a video, my cats are completely fine, and then as soon as I get on camera, get out of there. What are you doing? Anyways, if you want to laugh, go see this guy. He's bad at the game. Okay, we're back. Bro, get out of there now. What are you doing? Assholes. The guy's bad at this was a bad start, but I don't want to restart this. This guy's terrible at the game. And it's okay. You don't have to be great at every game. I'm not great at every game. I can't play Dark Souls because I'm fucking terrible at it. All right? I won't stream Dark Souls. I don't really want to talk about it on my channel because it's not that they're bad games. It's that I'm bad at them. I won't go past a certain point of Bloodborne because I'm just terrible at it, and it's frustrating, and I don't do the game any justice, and I'm not going to sell any copies of it. So I just don't talk about it, right? I don't know why you would play a game and get so frustrated because you can't beat it as well as somebody else online to the point where you get so offended that you make an entire video. And my problem is that this person has 500,000 subscribers. He pulls millions of views. It's insane to me. And the best part is he had gameplay while he was reviewing Doom Eternal. And he didn't necessarily give it a bad score. He gave it like a 63 or something. And not every game is everybody's cup of tea. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes somebody who doesn't necessarily get a game or understand how it plays, the fact that they would still give it a 62, it's not, I've talked about this on my channel before. It does not mean it's a terrible game. It just means it's not for everybody. Go look at the reviews for the first No More Heroes. It didn't do so well, but I loved it. I think that was a low 70s, high 60s game on Metacritic. But they're so noisy. Anyways, he was just terrible at it. And the main draw where people were ripping on him in the comments was what he said about the Marauders, which is a common thread amongst people who don't understand Doom, is that they're like, the Marauders suck the fun out of the game. I personally think they didn't. The Marauders got their own intro video, and it wasn't like just a zoom in, show you the enemy. He walked out of the portal. He talked some shit to you. He basically said, we're on the same level, just to let the player know that this was just an evil version of the Doomslayer, just obviously like one tier down. So, I mean, if you didn't know that those fights were going to be bad, and even Bethesda and id were just like, well, fuck the people who think it's hard. We're gonna put we're gonna put a harder fight in the DLC, which they did. Right on the standard difficulty, you had to fight two of them at the same time. But I just think it was funny because some people were ripping on him because the internet's not exactly kind. I'm sure somebody in here, the internet's not kind. Go look at some of my comments. But other people were like, no, dude, like, you showed us how you were fighting against him. Like, that's not how you do it. Like, you're killing yourself by shooting a rocket point blank at him, blah, 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 right? I've showed multiple times the easiest way to kill a Marauder, at least in my eyes, but I'm open to listen to other people, like my cousin Hank. When we talk about Doom, he has a different way of approaching certain enemies than I do, but both of us still beat the game. So we have different ways to do it, which means there's different ways to approach different things. And I feel like when somebody's used to playing games in a linear way, and they're not used to a game like Doom, it's just an arena. It's an arena shooter. You just go in, fight waves of enemy, move to the next area, fight waves of enemies. And he was complaining about the waves of enemies. And then and I was just like, my brain was melting as I was watching this video. I was like, do you know what you're reviewing? Like, did you know what you were buying when you bought it? But so anyways, people were trying to help him. We're like, oh no, you have to do this, and you have to, you have to manage your ammo, keep an eye on it, chainsaw the enemies, get the ammo, and then when it comes to the Marauder, do some splash damage from rockets from the back, or use the stickies, which is what I do. Use the stickies around him and throw grenades and try and get him trapped into a corner. He did a follow-up video where he shit all over everybody and was just calling people edgelords and blah blah blah. It was like, dude, people were just trying to give you advice. But it bothered me because that person's famous on YouTube. I mean, comparative to me, they're huge. They make a living doing this. And it's kind of like a common thread that's been happening this year where it's cool to hate. And I can't fit in with that anymore. It was cool to hate Doom Eternal because it was too difficult. It was cool to hate Final Fantasy VII Remake because it came out on PlayStation 4 first. It was cool to hate Last of Us 2 for multiple reasons. It was cool to hate on Cyberpunk because you guys basically forced them to fucking push the game out the door and then cried and was like, why is the game broken? Because they fucking told you it wasn't ready. And that seems like the common thread. I shouldn't even say just this year. When the Joker movie came out, it seemed cool to just hate on something that was popular. And I know it's been like that, but it hasn't been as big as it is now. And I don't like the structure anymore. I don't like what is popular on here anymore. I don't like gaming social media as a whole anymore. And I'll tie it in with something else that actually I saw last week, and it made me extremely sad, about somebody who started right when I did, and they went and they blew up. And I used to watch their content, and we went and we met them at PAX, and Dan got a fucking arcade stick from this guy, and they fell off, and it's just like lost without the YouTube fame, and it's really sad. But it's like what people will do now to make it big on things is really disgusting. I stream a lot of Mortal Kombat on my other channel. You know what I mean? Obviously, sometimes I wake up before I go to work. I wake up at 3:34 in the morning, and I'll start streaming Mortal Kombat. And when I stream Mortal Kombat in the morning, I just do towers because it's early in the morning. I'm having my coffee. I'm getting ready to start my day. I don't want to play anything competitive and fuck up my online record. You know what I mean? So I do towers. And then I opened up my Instagram as a business Instagram, and I started using the hashtags properly. And what happened was I started to get a lot of followers. And no, for me, a lot of followers, but a lot of followers who dealt in the same type of content. And since I stream towers, I had a girl add me who also streams towers. So I watched one of her streams. She's terrible at the game. She's terrible at the game, but she's keeps at it, so that's admirable, right? But the problem is, if I stream Mortal Kombat and I'm doing towers, generally I like to do towers because I get to interact with the people in the room that are talking. It's easier that way if I'm playing single player. Now, what happens is, I'm sorry, somebody's messaging me. What happens is, this person streams what I stream. They started later than me, and because they wear a low-cut shirt, they got 3,000 people watching them. Right? So it's not about the game anymore. And this is a slippery slope to talk about. And I've sometimes had a few drinks while talking about it, because you kind of need a bit of bravery to talk about this shit publicly anymore, because you can get dragged for it on the internet. But if you don't think that's why people are watching you, and you think it's your skills in the game, you're fucking wrong. Look at TikTok. Look at Instagram. I have a Silent Hill collection that's an envy to some people, right? I posted a picture of that, and it got a fair amount of likes for something that I post. I was happy with it. I got some followers off of it. I had some good interaction with it. But a girl can pose with 2 of like the 9 games that I showed off, like this. and she got 13,000 likes. I've seen that. With like no hashtags, just Silent Hill. And I abuse the fuck out of the hashtags, right? Because I learned how to play the game. I can't keep up with that shit anymore. I feel like I'm too, like, what do I have to have a ball out and hold them down by my zipper in order to do it? Nobody wants to see that. So, like I said, this is a slippery slope to talk about because I'm not trying to shame women for using their bodies to do whatever they want with. It doesn't matter what they're doing with it because it's your body. You do whatever you want with it. But it's kind of like skewed. I don't know. When I started my channel, a lot of other channels started too. Game Grumps started after me, and they're huge, right? You gonna watch Game Grumps? Or are you gonna watch somebody who's doing the same shit as Game Grumps, who's popping a titty out? You know what I mean? Like, they're a bad example because they're huge. But a lot of these people started after me, and they blew up, and I've watched a lot of them go down tremendously. And I see people doing the same thing, and it's sex, or the other part is like, I feel like if you're gonna make it as a guy, you need to be promoting. You need to be hawking shit. And I don't want to do that either. I just burned somebody for that on my Instagram. They're like, let's do the collab, and then I thought it was one of the fake ones, and then they messaged me because it was a real person doing the account, and I insulted them, which I don't care about. But they're like, we want you to model our stuff, because I post selfies and shit now. I'm a little more comfortable doing that. And they're like, oh, we want you to wear our shirts. I was like, no. Even if they would have given me one for free to show you guys, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to have to stop I already am scatterbrained enough. I got up in the middle, right in the beginning of this video to spray my cats with water. And I got to do it again because they're on the counter. Yeah, get out of here. I don't want to have to stop and then come back to that and be like, check out tpublic.com. Go order some stuff. Use my code. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hit that little bell to get the notification. I don't want to do that shit. But if you're going to make it, you got to do that shit. And I just can't. I'm pretty proud of what I have. I have 1.5 million views, and that's good for a channel that has no consistency, has no schedule. Sometimes I take 3 to 6 months off and I don't do anything. Sometimes I say I'm going to stream, and I'm supposed to stream tonight. I just didn't announce it because I knew I was going to back out. I fucking knew it. Like, I have no consistency. I'm flaky. I have a real job. Like, I don't want to commit myself to this if I don't want to. I want to bring content when I'm feeling it, when I'm happy about it, because this is a hobby. Which brings me to the thing that made me want to talk about how I hate the landscape of this and how it's never going to be what it was when I started. Is that you guys remember Gutex? Some of the people who were in the fighting game scene or into the fighting game scene who's my age, you probably know who Gutex and Mike Ross are. This cat's driving me crazy. Zelda, hey. She's mad because I sprayed her with water, but she won't get out the counter. Anyways, Cross Counter TV. Cross Counter TV was the name of the channel. They were big. They weren't big. Like, they were, 100,000, 50,000 views and an occasional million view video, depending on the content that they did. But most of it was just tips for Street Fighter. It was all Street Fighter at the time. It was when Street Fighter 4 blew the fuck up. You know what I mean? It brought fighting game scene back, blah, blah, blah. We had tournaments. We had CEO was coming out. Obviously, we had Evo and all that shit was huge in Vegas. And then Street Fighter 5 came out. It wasn't good. I'm sorry, but it wasn't good. It wasn't popular. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was not popular. It was not as good or big as Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So channels like that, if you didn't conform to Mortal Kombat, and if you don't believe me, look at Maximilian, dude, because he conformed to Mortal Kombat. He brought his content back over to Mortal Kombat, and he's still got his views. Other people didn't do that, and they fell off. And Gutex was one of them. If you're younger, you know Gutex as the Poggers face guy. But he was an important dude in the fighting game community. He was a pro fighting game player, and he wasn't good as the rest, right? So he was better than me. He was better than anybody else that I played with. But he did commentary. So he was basically the connection between, all right, here's a tournament, And here's the person at home who likes the game. And he was the nice medium in between him and Mike Ross. There was obviously other people, but those two were big. And Mike Ross went off and worked for Twitch or something. And then Gutex did content on his own, and then he fell off. And I saw him recently. And it's fucking sad. He doesn't even look like the same person. And he's still like grasping at that. I'm going to get famous on YouTube again. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. He's starting to look his age. He was older than me. So he must be like pushing mid 40s, mid to late 40s. Like he looks his age. It's not going to happen. And it's really sad. And then I remember when I used to want this channel to blow up, I wanted it bad. I made a website. I put in work. I was doing videos every day. I was doing the videos in front of the TV, and like I wanted it to work. And then I fucking like took a peek behind the curtain at when we went to PAX 2012, and I was like, I don't want any part of this. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go back to those videos around March of 2012 on my channel, and my attitude dropped drastically because they treat you like shit in that whole industry. If you're not selling something, if you're not looking good, or if you don't know the right people, they treat you like garbage. And it hasn't changed. It's just amplified, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's a really sad tale. He went fucking crazy too, though. Like, he's one of the hardcore conspiracy theorists. It's insane about it. Flat Earth, all that fucking shit. Coronavirus is fake, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know if he's doing it for attention or what, but that made me sad, and it made me happy at the same time that I didn't like quit a job and put all my time and focus into this because it's so like fleeting. And like I said, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be like the person I was talking about in the beginning, upper echelon gaming, where in order to fit in, where you got famous at one point for your reviews, but now the only way you're going to stick around is if you agree with everybody and you're like, Abby looked like a man in Last of Us 2, so I fucking hate that game. And then everyone's like. That's sad to me. I don't want to do that shit. I saw that when in contrast to my own channel, when the Silent Hill HD collection came out, I did 3 videos of it, and then I gave up arguing the pro points of it. Because right in the beginning I said, you should really be playing the PS2 versions of it. But this is still a good alternative. And then I did an entire fucking playthrough of it. And then recently I did a playthrough of the backwards compatible version on Xbox 360, which was substantially worse. And I still have people to this day go on that video and tell me I'm wrong. And then there was a guy who did a video at the same time that was factually inaccurate, and his channel was younger than mine. He had less subscribers before that video, and he blew up because he took a bunch of images that he found on Instagram, on Twitter at the time, and they weren't his, and he bitched about the game. So I saw a peak of it there, but that's where it is now. If you're not ripping something apart or reacting to it, or selling yourself or somebody else's product, you're lost. That's it. And this goes with when I said Cyberpunk. Somebody asked me on my other channel, because I did a stream of Cyberpunk, said, are you going to review it? I said, no, I'm not going to review Cyberpunk. I didn't have any game breaking glitches. I streamed the game. It ran fine. It didn't look fantastic, but the game ran fine. I didn't have any issues. I never lost my save. I asked for a refund because I jumped on that bandwagon. I asked for a refund because the game was fucking boring to me. I did not enjoy it. So I don't feel like I should do a video review of it for 20 minutes and tell you the reason that you shouldn't buy it. I'm not a good litmus test for that. I did not enjoy the game. I know a lot of people who are on Steam who have 100 hours in it. They clearly enjoyed the game. Nobody's playing it for 100 hours out of spite. But I bet you if I did a video of Cyberpunk and how terrible it was, and jumped on that bandwagon, and I put the right thumbnail and the right title, even if I did it on this one with the right thumbnail and the right title, maybe I'll fuck with the title, the views go up. I don't like that shit, man. I don't know. Sorry. I haven't ranted in a while. I'm a little more mature than when I used to rant 10 years ago, so it's not a lot of swearing and getting loud and possibly threatening people, but I don't know. I feel lucky that I never put all my money into this and tried to make it a channel, because when I started the channel I had a great job. I have a great job now. With their careers. So I'm lucky that I get to do this as a hobby, and I'm lucky for the I don't even call you fans, because you're not fans. You guys are friends. I'm lucky for the friends that I made on here, and the conversations that we get to have with people, even if you're being a troll just to keep a conversation going, like Gary Morris. I still love you guys. Like, so I'm happy with the way that I did it, and that I didn't chase money on here, because I saw someone who had great content, and they were loved and embraced by the community, and they were dropped like that, and their life is so sad because they have nothing else. Mike Ross is okay because he went and made a career, and Gutex is not, and that's sad because he relied on the content, and people will flip on you in a second when they're onto a new trend. So yeah, I love you guys. You're probably the only people who are going to react to it or even see this, but catch me on Twitch. I'm going to have my tits out. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching.